Hey guys, welcome to this video lecture. In this video lecture, we are going to see the forgotten recipes that I should have covered earlier. So there are 4 programs that I am going to cover. So let us get started. I am going to use the kwrite IDE. So no hup kwrite. So it is going to invoke the kwrite editor. And for the entire episode, we are going to use that kwrite editor for writing our simple programs. So this is the kwrite editor, and okay, so let us say bin bash and echo this is executed, and finally this is a comment. So this is a piece of code to demonstrate the usage of comments in bash scripts. So whenever we use the hash, it means that particular line is not going to be executed, and hash and exclamation marks mean the shabang or shebang. So now let us go to the settings actually and configure editor. I want to increase the font size. That is what I want to do. And I think that it can be increased. Let's make it 32, apply, and okay. So I guess it will take some time because I couldn't see these buttons responding well. Okay, I should actually close it. I don't know, this is not responding at all. Okay, now it is responding, but again we will have to go to the editor and change the font size. Yeah, I have already changed the font size. Why it is not changing? Not sure actually. So I will say apply and then okay. So this application seems to be bust. It is not changing the font size. Let us go ahead and save this thing as prog19.sh, prog19.sh, and hit enter. Okay, now it is able to recognize it as a legitimate shell script, and let's save it and let's execute this. Okay, so this is the command to change. Okay, so again I seem to have made a mistake. 744. Let's clear it and let's execute it. prog19.sh, and this one is executed and the commented line was not executed. Okay, and let's say a new file and let's close the old file, and now here we will try to change the font again. So this seems like a misadventure totally. And apply and okay. So whenever I try to click on OK, it is hanging. It is not actually responding for anything at all. Okay, it seems that it is fine. We are now going to check how to create the wrapper script. So wrapper script is a script that calls another script. So now let us save this file first as proc20.sh. So let us wait for this thing to respond. Okay, it has responded. proc20.sh, and I will say bin bash. I will say echo this is the parent script. Now we are going to run the command touch test or child.sh. So it is going to create a script known as child.sh, and I will say echo echo slash this is the child script. That's it. Okay, so we are going to enter this entire information echo. This is the child script. We are going to append that file test.child.sh with this information. Okay, so first we are going to create this file, and then we are going to add this echo statement to this file child.sh. Then we are going to change the mode chmod 755 child.sh, and finally child.sh rm child.sh. So we are running this file from within the script proc20.sh. That is why proc20.sh is the wrapper script. So whenever you are going to call any other script from the current script, the current script is known as wrapper script. And finally, we are just removing that sh file. So every time we invoke the script proc20.sh, this entire cycle will follow. It will create a file. It will push that echo statement to the file. It will change the permissions to the executable. It will execute that file, and then it will remove the child.sh. So let me minimize it for now, and chmod 744 star.sh prog20.sh, and this is the parent script and this is the child script. So this is how we can run one script from within another script by calling it normally the way we call it in the bash shell. Now I'm going to show you the sleep function. Let us save it as prog21.sh, prog21.sh slash bin bash. Okay, now I will say echo test and sleep 5. So here this 5 means 5 seconds. So by default, whenever we mention a number, it will interpret as those many number of seconds, and it will make our system sleep. So sleep means no activity, just like the biological sleep. Test 1 and 5s 5m 5h and 5d. So seconds, minutes, hours and days. So this is how we can explicitly mention what sort of time unit we want to attach to it. So it is not possible to show minutes, hours and days in this video because it is going to be a very long video and I don't want that to happen. So I'm just going to explain you and demonstrate you the seconds. That's it. Okay. And let's here say 21, and it printed test. Now it has gone into the sleep mode for 5 seconds, and then it printed test 1 and it came out of that execution, and it is now again showing us the cursor. So this is all about sleep. Now we are going to see how we can use random numbers in shell scripting. So I can just say echo dollar random 0, 1, and if I hit enter, it is going to show me a 1-digit random number. So here we can see various random numbers, and these are all 1-digit random numbers. Now if I want to make it 2-digit or 3-digit, then I can just say 3. So it is going to print now 3-digit random numbers like this. And we can even put it in the script. File save as prog22.sh. And let us paste it. And that's it. Okay. And let's actually even paste it here. This is 1-digit. This will be, 2-digit. Let me copy this again. I think that I have messed up somewhere. This is 2-digit random number and this is 3-digit random number. Okay, so we can say 744sh and prog22.sh. So this is 1-digit, 2-digit and 3-digit random number. So this way we can generate multiple random numbers. And this is cool. Okay, so this is how we can generate the random numbers. So in this tutorial, we have seen 4 things. First, we saw comments, then we saw the random numbers. We also saw sleep, and we saw one more thing. Which is that thing? I don't remember actually. Let me check the sheets. We saw code comments. We also saw the wrapper scripts. We saw sleep, and then we saw random numbers. So we saw these 4 important things that I had forgotten from the earlier episodes. So I thought that I should actually make a consolidated episode to club all these small topics together and to create a simple and single episode explaining everything. So I hope that you are now comfortable with all these 4 concepts. Do let me know if you have any questions or queries in the comment section down below. In case you want to download the code, you can check the description section down below where I have mentioned the name of the GitHub repository where I have uploaded the entire code. Thanks a lot for watching this episode. Do let me know if you have questions and do subscribe to my YouTube channel. Thanks a lot once again, and we will meet again in the next episode.